Was Antonio checking in, and this morning I had like this download, maybe a re-download or reawakening, if that makes sense, that for me, as long as I know that I'm connected to the source, to the raw energy, now whatever you choose to call this raw energy, God, Alpha, Omega, divinity, divine, that's on you. No judgment there. But once what I had a realization with, or a re-realization, if that makes sense, is that as long as I stay in alignment, and long as I continuously remind myself, not continuously, but continuously, if that makes sense, remind myself that I'm connected to the source. And long as I do things that are in alignment, you feel me, I will continue to operate on a higher frequency. By default, like I say, things will tend to manifest according to my desires. Now, I have noticed, based off experience, and I don't know why I work like this, but I have noticed that when I overindulge in whatever it may be, I'm not going to pinpoint one specific area of life, but whatever I overindulge in, I mean, unless it's like meditations or something, but you really can't overindulge in that. But you get where I'm coming from. Once I overindulge in something, I notice that it interrupts my alignment with source. Long as I'm living, breathing, I feel like everybody living and breathing, no matter what you're going through, you still connected to this source, this raw energy, this conduit, we vessels. But for me, I notice, like I said, when I overindulge, I become misaligned, and it becomes a little more obstacle based for the source to flow through me, because overindulging in a sense of whatever it is, it's like an overstimulation. And once you overstimulate it, too much dopamine release, and then it starts to drain you. And I always realize, if things start to drain you, I wouldn't necessarily say that they're bad. It's just that how much of that action, or how much of whatever is draining you, how much of it are you doing? Are you overeating? Are you on your phone too much? Are you overly smoking, overly drinking, or, overly having intrusive thoughts? I don't, like I said, I don't know what the situation may be for different individuals. I'm just giving pure examples. Now, I don't never feel like the action directly itself may be bad, because, like they say, everything in moderation. But once you get out of that moderation zone, that's when you begin to overstimulate. And once you overstimulate, that energy shoots up so high, it has to come crashing down. And when it comes crashing down, by default, you become drained. You become misaligned. You see what I'm saying? But once you find that medium, that sweet spot, as everybody call it, if you love to watch certain TV shows, or if you love to eat certain foods, like, you can do it, but don't go crazy, because it will drain you. And once you're drained of that energy, that's a doorway for those thoughts, for those wrong, or for those sluggish actions, those sluggish deeds, that sluggish mindset to creep in and take over. So this morning, I just really had a reawakening to that for some reason. And I just told myself that, hey, as long as you know that you're connected to source, as we all are, you're always going to be good, So it's always something to be grateful for. But the misalignment, to remain aligned, for me, what I realized, it's not about necessarily cutting things off. Because maybe the things that you're cutting off going to always be the things that continuously help you grow, Because we all have vices. And what may be a piece of cake to me may be a real struggle for you. So we can't knock nobody for our vices, but we can learn from them. And we know that balance, moderation is definitely key. Because once you balance and moderate, you can actually enjoy the pleasures of life. And once you overindulge, you start to drain. And those pleasures start to really turn to pain. So don't beat yourself up. Just remember, real moderation is key. Let's just be real. Let's say, for instance, you're a person, you smoke all day, every day, whether it's cigarettes, blunts, whatever. I don't know. Let's say, you smoke 20 cigarettes a day, 20 blunts a day. Let's say if you get that 20 down to 5. That's a big step. And what if you get that 5 down to 1 cigarette a day, 1 blunt a day? Oh, I almost tripped. Now, I'm not condoning smoking, but I'm giving an example, a real life example that I feel like people probably could relate to. So, not condoning smoking at all, to each his own, but what I am honestly condoning is balance and moderation. So don't beat yourself up, because this is a real journey and it's meant for you to learn from and not rush. So always remember that you're connected to the source, and always remember balance and moderation is key. And if you always want to know if you aligned or unaligned, check your energy levels. If you start feeling drained, hey, something you're overly doing. You're overly stimulating yourself. Go take a breather. Go reset, rebalance, realign. Go meditate. Spend some time in nature. You know, find those things that help you grow. Find and discover your God or your source-given gifts. Whatever terminology you want to use, it's cool with me. Because your God-given gifts, your source-given gift, your divine gifts that are just blessed to you, those are going to help you stay aligned. And one of my God-given gifts is painting. So for me, art is not about being able to create a cool image that people are like. You know, at this point, art has really become an alignment tool for me. As long as I paint, it's not even about selling the art. It's not even about it being in the museum or hanging up on somebody's wall. It's one of those things that, as long as I paint, that will keep me in alignment. You see what I'm saying? Now I can take it further. Art business, selling the art, but the bare minimum, first and foremost, before any money, before any business is involved, my art is a healing tool first. It's an alignment tool before it's anything. Because if money stopped circulating today, I'll still paint. And through my art, I will still be able to remain in alignment. As long as I'm doing things that are remaining in alignment and cultivating my God-given gifts, my frequency raises. And when my frequency raises, I'm operating at a higher frequency, which means I'm vibrating at a higher frequency. And by default, the desires appear. Let that soak in. So just focus on y'all God-given abilities, not from a business perspective. On walking, talking, y'all know how I get. But focus on your God-given talents, because you have them. Cultivate them and allow them to keep you aligned. And then you go tackle it from a business perspective. Did I say that right? Anyway, y'all get the picture. But first and foremost, recognize what it is that you're good at and hone in on that, because that's your alignment tool. Think about that. In the meantime, the between time, y'all stay up, y'all stay down. Remember, you connected to source. Do what you got to do to stay aligned. And if it's draining you, regroup and redo. Peace out.